Hey, welcome to Stream of Blood. I am your host, storyteller, game master, uh, you know, uh, general impresario, Jared Logan. And I am so excited for tonight. Tonight is chapter 5 of our ongoing series using the game Vampire the Masquerade, Vampires of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, as I keep saying, a town known for its mind-bending gothic horror. We have a really exciting session planned for you tonight because there's a fight. We're finally having a fight in the game, and we're using Vampire the Masquerade's really nice, streamlined, one-roll conflict rules to do that. So I can't wait to get all these guys into a fight and have some vampires get shot in the face. But before we get into all that, I just want to remind people a couple things. If you enjoy the stream and you just kind of want to be updated, know what's going on, please follow us on Twitch and turn on notifications. Please subscribe to Stream of Blood on YouTube. We have the whole YouTube channel there, and you can see all of the games and episodes of all the different series that we've done thus far on there. It's all recorded. It's all on YouTube for you. And please join our Facebook group. And the cool thing about our Facebook groups is that we add the character sheets, and we do lots of little things like that. We post a lot of little things on there to give you kind of some more insight into the game. In fact, we just kind of conducted an informal poll on there asking people what game they would most like to see more of on Stream of Blood. And so I'm proud to announce that after this next Sunday, we're going to start an ongoing Cthulhu, Call of Cthulhu game that's just going to go indefinitely. And we've got a really cool idea for it, and we're going to have lots of great players for it. So I'm really excited that one's coming. But coming this Sunday, before we get into that new Cthulhu game, we have a different Cthulhu game. Coming this Sunday, we have part 2 of our Cthulhu Dark Ages campaign, Black Spirits of the Earth. So check it out this Sunday at 1:30 p.m. We've got Humphrey Carr, Jackie Cation, and Becca Scott playing in a Cthulhu game that takes place in the year 999 AD. It's the Dark Ages. There are Vikings. There's a lack of proper sanitation, which is almost scarier than Cthulhu himself. So check that out, 1:30 Pacific time this coming Sunday. And then after that, we're going to start another ongoing Cthulhu series that it will not be in the Dark Ages. It'll take place, it'll take place, I think, what we're talking about is the 19th century. It'll be like a Victorian Cthulhu campaign. So I really can't wait to get into that. And I've just been reading like Victorian history books. I'm reading The Proud Tower by Barbara Tuchman to get ready for that. So be sure to check that out when that comes out. That'll be every Sunday. I wonder if there's anything else I can say. I don't think that there's really much else. So I think it's time to kind of bring in our cast and start our game. Our first player, man, she's so fantastic. She plays a vampire so realistically. It's like if you or I became a vampire, what would we be like? This actress completely encapsulates that for us. And she's just really fun to play with. Playing the tech entrepreneur turned thin blood vampire. Please welcome Ashley Burch, everybody.
Hi. Should I do my classic Get Pink?
Hashtag? Yes. Well, no, it's good. We have to remember to hashtag Get Pink because at the end of last week's session, some of our players forgot to use the blush of life to look human, and it went poorly for them.
I really feel like that's going to be our downfall every time. I mean, maybe not. Maybe we'll really get good at it, but
when the first time we kind of discussed how vampires have to, they have to use the rouse roll to get pink and look like humans. I told you guys, I was like, no, I'm going to really hold you to that. And if you don't do it, I'm going to make there be consequences. I didn't think I would have to really do it.
And yet you have multiple times.
And yet I have. Yeah, I mean, the thing about game masters, storytellers, is that sometimes we are sons of bitches. So we wouldn't be doing our job well if we weren't. But
it's true.
Ashley, welcome. Thanks for being here. And I'm really excited to see what happens to your character tonight. Any initial thoughts about, where she's going tonight?
Well, if she hears some gunshots, she's going to have to make some choices because she's a bit weak, a bit cowardly. So we're going to see what she does.
And she's a thin blood, so she doesn't quite have all of the vampiric fortitude. Fortitude's a bad word, but the vampiric powers that some of the other guys have. So
that's right.
We'll get into that. Don't worry. But yes, I think that you are right to think I'm going to play cautiously. Let me bring your next player here up to the table. This guy, he's a fantastic improviser, actor, artist. He does incredible cartoons, and he elevates every game he's in. Please welcome the fantastic, playing the disgruntled war veteran and former drug addict Curtis Krieger, the fantastic Ross Bryant, everybody. Yeah. Oh, what are you reading there?
Yeah, what is it?
Dr. Faustus, since we're in the world of Faustian pacts.
You got a new creepy book every time I introduce you.
I have quite the collection of creepy books, so this is my way of showing it.
When your girlfriend first came over to your apartment, were you like, hey, check out my library? It's got witchcraft and Dr. Faustus. And
check out my literal collection of books about Satan.
How many do you have?
Always a good sign. I think that's the John Waters quote. If you go to someone's house and they don't have a bunch of books about Satan, don't have sex with them.
That's right.
That sounds right.
If you're into Satan books, you know how to fuck. That's true. Because I'm definitely into Satan books, and I don't think. I mean, maybe I know how to fuck. Actually, why would I? Why are we talking about this?
Why indeed?
Where do you think Curtis Krieger is going tonight?
Well, I mean, he's just stumbled into the lion's den. I think when we last left our hero, they were about to get peppered with a shotgun. So we'll see how that works out for him.
Let me ask you this:
the first time I've been under fire.
Curtis was kind of going in there and was going to try to kind of trick them into thinking he was there under the pretense of a drug deal. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. And unfortunately, these guys know what vampires are and were able to suss out that you are in fact one of the kindred. So that's where things went wrong. But I love it. It went wrong in like the heist went wrong, Boogie Nights kind of a way. So now we'll see where the chips fall. Speaking of a chip that falls, let me bring out your final player. This guy, he's got a bunch of Netflix specials that just debuted, and they're really, really funny. They're called Middleditch and Schwartz. This is perfect quarantine viewing. When you're not watching people pretend to be vampires, you should be watching these great improv sets by two masters of the art form. Middleditch and Schwartz, it's called, and the player I'm about to bring out is the amazing Mr. Thomas Middleditch. Wow! It's your Haven.
I'm back in my lair.
Yeah, you were up in a cabin before, but now you're at your home, which is at what address? Go ahead and say that.
At number 1 Hollywood Lane.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, so Miles Vanderbuck, he's your character. He's like kind of an old union guy who finally has the power to strike back at the fucking corporations.
Damn straight.
And what's going to happen to him tonight, do you think? Or what are you thinking going into the game? Because, yeah, we did end on a shotgun firing as it was pointed at you. So
yeah, well, I think being a vampire is new to Miles Vanderbuck. He's probably going to be like, oh shit, this is where it ends. But we'll see what type of hopefully he fails. What's the roll to see if you become a beast or not?
Oh yeah, he sometimes he'll have to make willpower rolls to avoid a frenzy.
I would love to fail that roll right now.
Oh yeah.
And then yeah, I was gonna say something else, but then I forgot. But yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, well we'll see. We'll see. Maybe you will.
Oh yeah,
frenzy.
I wanted to point out how insane these headphones are. The problem with gaming headsets is that you look so stupid.
Right.
So dumb.
Look at how dumb I look.
I don't think anybody realized that sometimes you'd be watching yourself use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's by design that you never see yourself ever.
There's no way that you could imagine you're doing something cool in those headphones.
No, absolutely.
But you
not.
are. You wouldn't imagine it, but you are. You're pretending to be a vampire, and there's nothing cooler than that. All right. I think we should just get right into it.
Oh, and I'm drinking red wine out of a goblet with dragons and Vikings and stuff on it. So lots of stuff is happening right now.
Everybody is drunk. This is great.
Well, drinking the blood, and then piss. Right? That's Russ.
Everybody's going to be nice and loose and acting really vampirical here in a minute. I need to go ahead and this is vodka. So that I put into a athletic water bottle for some reason. All right, let me set the scene again for everybody so they know where we're at and what's happening. Last session, you guys did various personal business of your own that we might get into later, but the main thrust of the session was that you were called to Elysium for your weekly meeting about your mission in the city, which is to track down the Anarchs that have been giving the Camarilla hierarchy some problems. And you were given a mission. Your mission was to go to this biker clubhouse where this biker gang called the Heathens makes their kind of hideout, and get your hands on them, or get your hands on their info in their clubhouse, and find out if they know a specific Anarch vampire, because the Camarilla, they caught a photo of an Anarch troublemaker leaving a bar, and he had a tattoo that matches the insignia of the heathen biker gang, which is like kind of a horned man, a horned face. So based on that, they said maybe the Heathens are connected to the Anarchs, and they sent you to go and find out if the Heathens know anything about this Anarch vampire who is known as the Barfly, because they keep spotting him in various bars, feeding where he's not welcome. You guys went over to the biker clubhouse, and on the pretense that you were kind of trying to set up a drug deal, because these guys move a lot of dope throughout the city of Pittsburgh, Curtis went in and kind of tried to parley with them. Fortunately, Curtis and Miles both, they were both in the room when this happened. They forgot to hashtag get pink.
Yeah.
And the leader biker made a roll to kind of see if he could see what was going on, and that they were different, that they were pale, that they were corpse-like, and he immediately recognized what you guys were. And that's when he shouted for all of his pals. You've only seen two, a woman and a skinny guy with a spider tattoo. He shouted for them to get back, and then he came out with a shotgun and he fired. So that's where we're at, and this is what I'm going to say now. I just want to kind of make sure you know what the battlefield looks like, because we're doing this theater of the mind, and if you have any questions, be sure to ask me before we kind of get into this very action-y scene, okay? So basically, you're in kind of like not a wide little hallway in this like old firehouse. You've come in kind of like the side door that kind of lets you in, okay? To your right, when you came in, was it led into the garage of this old firehouse, and that's where all of the Heathens were kind of like, they had their music going, their fog hat, and they were kind of partying, and that's where they've been kind of talking to you from over to your right in that garage. To your left is like a small office. Straight ahead of you, there's a hallway going down. There are like trophy cases and old photos hanging on the walls, leading back to a larger room at the back that looks like it has like some folding tables that are folded up along the wall. It's like dark back there. So the big biker guy has just come around the corner. This is the guy who's like big, he's meaty, he's got like a gray beard, and he's pulled his shotgun and he's fired. So I want to know what Curtis is going to do.
Well, I think I was saying at the very last moment,
yes,
that Curtis tried to dive out of the way.
Okay, great.
Piece of action.
Okay, so that's what he's going to do. Miles, what are you going to do?
Is the shotgun pointed at me?
It's like, I assumed you guys were standing beside each other, and it's not like a really wide hallway. It's kind of it's just an old firehouse.
But it's a shotgun, and I conceivably would get hit by the blast as well.
Both of you would, because it is a shotgun.
I also have, not knowing necessarily what his capabilities are at this moment, he's not fully in tune with his vampiric radness. He's also just going to go, like, dive out of the way.
Okay, so both of you are going to dive out of the way. That's great. So
and I just want to make sure that I remember correctly. My Pitbull mix Ruby is with us, right?
And I asked you that, and you said yes, that she was. So she's there. So yep. I think that she should also try to jump out of the way. What do you think?
Yeah, it seems that a dog would like.
Seems to make sense. So I'm going to have you roll for her as well.
Okay.
So here's what I think. I think that you're going to do a ranged defense. In Vampire, everybody in the rules we're using, which are called one roll conflict, everybody kind of rolls at once. So my biker gang leader is going to roll all of his die to shoot you with the shotgun. You guys are going to roll dexterity plus athletics, but because you have absolutely no cover and he's opening up on you at like point blank range, I'm going to give you a -1.
So
to
should we just
your
put
roll.
a high difficulty or actual -1?
No, because this is the reason we're not worrying about difficulty here is because it's an opposed roll. So he'll roll, you'll roll. Whoever rolls the most is successful, and like kind of negates the other guy's stuff. Does that make sense?
Okay, sure. So if we have 3 dice, we're actually rolling 2, kind of thing.
Yeah.
All
How
right.
many hunger? Oh, I got 2
So this
hunger.
is dexterity plus athletics for you guys, and for Ruby, you can roll. I'm gonna let you roll 7 dice for Ruby, Ross, because she's a dog. He's not really aiming at her. I think that she could get out of the way pretty easly. Okay, here he goes. He's opening up. Jen, you're out in the car. You're probably about to hear something.
Is that better?
No. You're a little blown out now.
That's
good.
Okay.
All right.
This is exciting.
This is I'm pleased with what happened, but then again, I don't know what it compares to, just based on what I was up against.
Okay. Well, he got 6 successes.
Oh,
that's a lot.
Doidle.
So equipment in this game adds a bunch of dice to your dice pool. So he doesn't have a giant dice pool, but he's good at shooting stuff.
Yeah.
He's and then a shotgun adds a bunch of dice. So that's how he was able to get so many successes. How'd you guys do on your dodging rolls?
You say you got 6 successes? That's crazy.
Yeah, what was your
I got
dexterity?
7.
You got 7?
No, it's impossible. We didn't even have that many dice. No, I got 1 success.
Okay. And how about you, Curtis?
I got 5 successes, and Ruby got 4 successes.
Okay, great. So here's what I'm going to roll. Ruby, who is only a regular dog, takes 2 aggravated damage because it's a shotgun.
No,
So
Ruby.
She has. I'm going to keep track of her health tracker for you because I have it written down here. That's bad for her.
I hear her like, oh.
Yeah, she only has 5 health boxes, so she just got hit with some of the shot that kind of bounced off the walls and everything. You said you got 4 successes?
5.
She got 5. Great, good job. So you only take 1 point of superficial damage. So go ahead and put that on your marker. So Ruby's a regular dog. She took aggravated damage, which is a full X, but you are a vampire and you only take 1 superficial damage. Just mark that.
And forgive me, that goes on health?
That's right, your health tracker, yeah.
Mark.
Your health tracker here, let me grab a sheet. Yeah. So what you would do is you would
because there's some that are filled in and some that are empty.
Right. So basically, that's the amount that are filled in, or how many you just have. Like that's because there are characters in this game that could fill it all the way up because they're like super vampires and stuff like that. That's the technical in-game term, super vampires. And then, so you have, like, you're starting out with how many health do you have?
I am a 6.
6 altogether. So you're taking 1 point of superficial damage. So just make a tick mark above one of them, not an X, like a tick mark. That lets me know it's not aggravated damage, because there's 2 types of damage in the game. Superficial damage, which is like any normal mundane damage to vampires, bullets, blades, punches in the face. And then there's aggravated damage. And for vampires, that's fire, sunlight, or sometimes certain like spells and like the claws of certain supernatural creatures and things like that. And wait, vamps have all superficial damage. So if you took 1 damage, because your dodge successes negate however many successes he got, I guess you take no damage actually, Curtis. But poor Miles Vanderbuck, how many successes did you get?
1.
You only got 1. Okay, so you're dealing with, I think you're going to be taking like 3 superficial damage. So mark over your boxes that you've got 3 superficial damage.
You got it, dude.
You guys are doing awesome for people who just got shot with a shotgun.
Yeah, I feel great.
So I'm
My first time being on the fire.
Just to kind of explain what happened. The shotgun went off. All you saw was a flash, and then you felt all these like little burning, like kind of like spots on your face and in your chest, because it did go off and it did hit you, but you're a vampire and it just hasn't like really put you down yet. And you hear Ruby go, "Yipe!" which I think is going to have an effect on your psychology, Curtis Krieger. But first, I want to let Jen Brown know that you definitely hear a shotgun blast. You said you were on lookout. I'm not going to make you roll for it. So you're in the car with the gun you don't know how to use, and now you definitely know something is popping off inside.
So do I see muzzle flashes? Do I know where it's coming from? Or do I
think that you could see muzzle flashes. I think that if you kind of like are keeping an eye out, you look over at the door they went in, and that door is kind of slightly open, and you see a flash.
So they're inside the house.
They are inside. Yes, they're inside the fire station. They went into that little hallway inside.
So is there like a gate or anything like that? That's
Absolutely.
Like made of wood?
So there are 2 entrances. There's the little door that they went into on like the side of the building. That's where you see the muzzle flash. And then there's also the big garage that's kind of around the corner from you up front that would have opened and closed back when the fire trucks went in and out. And that wasn't open before, but there were windows you could see in. That's definitely probably a point of ingress if you wanted to take a look at that. What do you think you're going to do this turn? We're now moving to the next turn. So I'll get info from everybody. What do you want to do, Jen Brown?
How far away is the car parked? Did we say?
You're in the car, so you're right there, and it's distance from the. Oh, not far. I mean, I think you could run over to the building in one turn, but maybe not necessarily like go all the way inside and start doing stuff.
Okay, here's what I would like to do, and I don't know if this is possible. I would like to look at the pistol, go, fuck it, toss it, get in the front seat of the car, turn it on, and I want to ram the car into a place that I could potentially ram the car into to try to get my boys out.
God damn, that's the coolest thing a player's ever said to me. So I want to be clear. The door they went in is like, it's a regular kind of like, size door. Do you want to drive around to where the garage is and ram those bigger doors?
Yes, unless it seems like that the car's just going to go like against it.
I feel like you have a way better chance of the car going through those garage doors than you do of it like working against like just the side of the building here, right?
Okay, I'm gonna try to slam into the garage door.
Come get your boys.
I'm gonna come get my boys.
Come rescue your boys.
Okay, you.
We're a couple of dumb dunces, and we need you to come rescue us.
What did we say? This is a 1992.
Can't do nothing.
I'm pretty sure we said it was a Hummer.
No, it's not a Hummer. What did we say?
It was some weird car Ross came up with.
It was a Celica?
It's the shitty Chevy Lumina.
It's a Chevy
Oh
Lumina.
no! It's gonna get crushed like a can.
Clint, put the picture up. We got to see what it is, or Brian.
We're going to try to get the Lumina for us, guys. We're going to try to get the Clint's got the Lumina. We're going to show the Lumina. Don't worry.
Give us the Lumina.
Fans out there watching, the Lumina will appear in a moment. But first, I want to get the actions of my other characters. So, Curtis Krieger, what are you going to try to do this turn?
Okay, so the psychological effect of me hearing my dog.
Yes, I think that you hear your dog get hurt, and if you think it's in character, you probably roll for frenzy.
Yep, I think that's very in character.
Okay, don't do it yet, but we will do it in a minute. And Thomas, what is Miles going to do?
Miles has just been shot, and I think he's first in shock, and then if he notices that it doesn't feel like an actual shotgun blast, he's thinking, my God, this really is like Twilight. And he wants to like attack, but he doesn't know how. So can I voluntarily roll to become a savage?
I don't think that something's happened to him yet that would set him off in terms of a frenzy.
So he just wants to like.
He can yeah. I think the first thing that he will do is he will roll a rouse roll to heal himself.
Oh my God.
And then we can have him attack. So let's get everybody's dice pulls. Jen, do you have any drive skill?
Shit. No.
That's
What's an option?
That's okay. Whoa. Oh,
hey, there it is.
There it is.
Yes, the Chevy Lumina that you're in.
Beautiful car. I can give it to you for $250.
Well, what 250 clams? I'll take it.
All right.
But Curtis's is blue. It's blue, and all those chunked off pieces of paint are like the rusty brown.
You idiot! The Lumina's supposed to be blue.
Clint, fire yourself!
Clint, dude, it's a blue Lumina. Okay,
What a dink.
Jen, don't worry. Okay. The difficulty level to do something real fun and crazy, like crash a car into a building, is not as hard as it is to like drive the Indy 500 or whatever.
Right.
So, in order for you to just quickly like take the car around and get in position to like ram, I just want a drive roll, and you know what? To do that, that's easy. You only need one success. Okay.
So what happens if I don't have any?
And then I'm going to have you roll dexterity only.
Okay, great. And one success?
You just need one.
I can't remember if I'm hungry.
10 and 2.
You guys just went to Elysium where there's all kinds of snacks that you like.
I didn't drink any. I have 2 hunger.
Oh, shit.
Right. I'm not hungry anymore.
I think you're going to stay at your 1 hunger, Jen. Your 1 hunger, which is where vampires kind of rest all the time.
Okay.
So Jen's going to roll her... she's going to roll that. Curtis, are you going to roll your willpower for me?
Yes. So that's just all the little willpower nuggets. Here we go.
And would you want me rolling?
I want you to roll a rouse check, which, if you recall, is just 1 die, and you see if it comes up 6 or higher.
Damn it.
I'm going to get everybody's, see what everybody's, how everybody's doing. Okay. And so I'm going to roll that. Here's what happens, okay, with my guys, all right, just to let you know what they're doing on their turn, and then we'll see how successful you guys were. My big guy is like, and he's trying to reload his shotgun, and he's taking his turn to do that. The guy with the spider tattoo comes out of the garage now with a big tire iron leg, and he shouts back into the garage, "Call Stu!"
Ooh.
And then he comes at you with a tire iron, and that's what they're doing. One's reloading, one's coming at you with a tire iron. Jen, how was your roll?
It was a total failure.
A total failure. Okay, don't worry.
It wasn't a critical failure. That's different.
Right, it wasn't a critical failure. Jen, what's happening is in what I think is a really exciting thing is you're having trouble like backing up and getting in position. You're like, like you're hitting the curb and stuff like that. You're trying to get the car around.
I can't.
You're having trouble with that like 5-point turn or something like that.
She's so verklempt.
You're fighting. you're fighting with the Lumina right now.
Like the sunscreen is like falling down.
Indicators.
Yeah.
How'd you do on that willpower roll, Curtis?
Total failure.
Yeah,
Oh,
fuck him up.
Yeah.
Fuck him up.
Okay. Then would you like to tell me what savage action you're taking this turn?
Okay, I guess you'll put limits on this when I reach the limits.
Yeah, I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay,
Are you gonna plant that savage garden, Ross?
Yeah. I'll be your everything.
Hashtag get savage.
Instant recall. Ross Bryant.
I hit the ground, and all I heard was "Hoo!" in the hallway. And so, if you were Miles, you would see my head like turn around, and Curtis's eyes are the full like it's vertical pupils. And he lopes, not runs, but lopes out of the hallway, galloping on all fours, and grabs the shotgun as the shotgun goes, and as it's on its way back, the hand just grabs it before it can load the next.
Maybe he does. You're gonna roll your I think dexterity plus brawl. Okay. You're gonna get a +1 for your grappling specialty. Okay. And then because you are frenzying, I want you to add yet another +1. Okay. How'd your rouse roll go there, Miles Vanderbuck?
It was a success.
Okay, great. So you don't gain any extra hunger, but you do heal the amount of damage that you have stamina points.
Oh, okay. Stamina points. Oh, that's 3. Baby's back up. Baby's back up.
Yes. So
you can get it all too.
You're like, wow, this is like Twilight. And then you feel the wounds like actually heal, and you actually see the shotgun shot go plink, 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 plink out of your body onto the ground.
Hell
and
yeah.
You said you were going to run forward. And are you also going for the guy with the shotgun, or are you going to go for the guy with the tire iron?
It depends on the sequence. If I've seen Curtis go after shotgun guy, and then in the split second I see the tire iron guy, I'm going to go after the tire iron guy. If not, shoddy.
It feels like you're going after the tire iron guy. So
I'm right in the goddamn fucking face.
Here we go. Give me. You're gonna just attack him, or you're just gonna punch him in the face? Is that what you said?
Clock him as hard as I absolutely holy hell can.
Great. Give me a strength plus brawl roll. He's gonna roll his fighting skill here.
I also have a 1 pip in lethal body. Was that gonna?
Yeah. What that means is your punches don't do superficial damage to humans. Usually punches just do superficial damage. Your punches do like lethal aggravated damage to humans. So you're not just punching him with a regular fist right now. You're punching him with like a baseball bat. And excellent. I need to make sure that doesn't use a rouse check, because
do I add hunger to this particular roll?
You will add hunger to it.
Strength, brawl, and that's it. Okay. Like it. Oh, guys, we're vamping.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's for free. Yeah. So this just happens. So okay, here he goes. He's going to also roll his dexterity plus brawl. With an added couple dice for the tire iron. And he did 4 successes. How'd you do?
Me?
Yeah.
Huh. I think it's the summary says 1 success, result success.
Okay. So here's what happened. You guys both attacked at the same time. Neither of you dodged. So you just nailed him like you said you wanted to. And it's like you feel his jaw break under your fist, but his tire iron comes down on you hard. And you take, let's see.
I don't even care anymore. Miles Vanderbuck. What's the damage?
Yeah, you take 1. You take 1 superficial damage. How did your roll go, Curtis Krieger?
I got a critical.
A critical success?
Yes. 6 successes.
Holy shit.
Criticals.
You're
Okay.
gonna demolish this.
Oh,
guy.
I didn't realize Curtis Krieger was hard as a rock.
He's real hard right now. What do you, I mean, okay, so I'm going to let you define what happens because you can basically control this shotgun in any way you want right now.
Okay, cool. Now,
including and up to like using it, hitting him over the head with it, like waiting until he reloaded it and pointing it at his face now, like that's a critical.
Okay, great. So I have carte blanche. So we had the thing where, okay, so I caught it before the next one went in the chamber, and I just am like staring into his eyes as I forced the shotgun upward. And he's like, this guy's not as big as me. This shouldn't be happening. And I'm just staring into his eyes with these like green cat eyes. It goes under his chin and then it locks down in the barrel and bam.
Well, not yet. That'll happen in our next round. So this is exciting. Jen,
yes.
What do you want to try? Do you want to keep trying with your car?
I really want to ram into this building. Ashley really wants to ram into this building.
I think you should try again. Give me another dexterity roll.
Okay.
Curtis, so that's what Jen's going to do, and I'll get that roll in a second. Curtis, I mean, I don't think it doesn't make sense to make a firearms roll here or something. I mean, this is literally like, so if you're going to fire, I'm just going to roll a bunch of damage at him for the shotgun, and I'm going to see if he can get out of the way or something. Does that sound fair? That makes sense?
Ross?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Yeah, no problem. I don't think it makes sense for you to have to roll firearms here. I think I'm just going to roll the shotgun's damage and see if he can get out of the way of it.
Okay, cool.
Is that cool?
Can
and then
say that before that happens, I just say, don't fuck with my dog.
Oh, by the way, Ruby is there, but she's kind of like, you haven't given her any commands and she's kind of just yelping in a corner. Yeah, Miles, are we still going toe-to-toe with this guy?
Yeah, I think it's probably I got hit in the head with this crowbar and he just like doesn't move and just cracks him one more time.
Okay. he's gonna keep trying to tangle with you.
Yeah, he's just gonna like go hit for hit like that Dan Severn fight in the early MMA. Just but one guy's got a tire iron.
Okay. Let's get everybody's rolls. Jen, how'd that dexterity roll go with the car?
Bing!
All right.
Hi.
The car goes finally around the side, and now your car is like perfectly aimed at those garage doors. And I'll even do you one better because this was happening the whole time. A guy that I'll just let you know that Curtis and Miles haven't seen yet is like opening the garage door to like sneak out when he sees your headlights pointing straight at his face. And this guy's got like long hair and he's a little fat. He's got one of those leather biker vests on. Okay, so now Curtis. Here we go. You got control of it. You said you're pulling the trigger. Is that still what's happening?
I think so. What am I rolling?
I just roll 5 dice. Don't worry about hunger or anything else. I'm just rolling the damage that the shotgun does.
Okay, great.
And my man is going to try to dexterity plus dexterity plus athletics his way out of the way. All right. How many successes did you get?
1.
Okay. Oh, this dude got 2.
Damn.
So he ducks under the shotgun as it boom goes off again. It is now empty, and he's like shouting, like, "Don't call Stu! Don't do that!" So he's really keeping his head too, like in all of this. And now it is our friend, the fucking spider tattoo versus Miles Vanderbuck again. So let's see how that goes. You ready?
Yeah.
Spider-Man versus Nick Nolte.
Yeah.
Matchup of the century.
Am I rolling anything or no?
Yeah, you're gonna roll your dexterity plus brawl.
Oh, it's not strength plus brawl.
Oh, I'm sorry. We said strength earlier. Yeah, roll your strength plus brawl. I think you're just beating him. You're not like using taekwondo.
Okay, with hunger. Oh boy. There's a box for specialty. It's not my specialty.
It isn't. No, you have a specialty in subterfuge, looking pitiable.
Oh, cool. Yeah, 2 successes.
Okay, great. I gotta tell you, he got 3.
Oh,
But because you're both attacking, you just both do damage to each other. So again, you like smash him, and his face is like already like just a black mess. And he comes down on you with the tire iron, like bang, bang. And you are dealt, let's see, you take half of that damage because it's superficial. So again, you only take 1 damage. And Thomas, at the beginning of any turn, if you want to heal that, you just tell me and we'll make a rouse check.
not yet, baby.
Not yet.
It's a real panicked old guy becoming powerful fight.
Yeah. Okay, great. So Rory has 3 damage, and it's lethal damage. He's not really doing very well. Okay. So now let's start again. The round starts again. Jen, are we gonna drive right through a guy?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I love it. How quickly her morals have disintegrated.
She's very nervous. She's just going for it.
Yeah, maybe this guy will get out of the way of the car. We'll find out. I don't think that you really need. I don't think that it would be hard to just hit the gas and do this. So I'm just gonna let you do it. Like,
okay.
Because you got over there and now you're just like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna let you do it. Actually, for fun, just to see if anything crazy happens.
Okay.
Give me 1 more dexterity roll. Okay.
Okay.
But and let's just see if something crazy happens. Curtis, this guy ducked under your shotgun. What do you want to do?
So is this something I'm allowed to do? Can I check in with the telepathic or the animalistic connection that I have with Ruby? Do I have a sense whether or not she's down for the count or whether she's still got some juice?
I can tell you instantly that you feel her, like, like with this like weird empathetic bond. So you know that she still has juice in her, that she's not out of the fight, that she can still walk and act if you want her to.
All right.
She's got juice.
She got juice, baby.
What I want is, as I continue to like hold this shotgun, its match of strength with this guy, I would like Ruby to go full Once Upon a Time in Hollywood on this guy.
Right, absolutely.
I want her to charge between my legs and chomp down right on his groin.
I think that is what she shall do. And I think that's like kind of, I think that concentrating and make her do that, that's like a whole round for you. Okay. Like that makes sense.
He's just like wee. All he hears is like the tinnitus buzz after the shotgun went off. And maybe it clears for a second just to see me continue to stare in his eyes and just kind of go.
Yeah. And you've got like dog eyes right now. So it's all very off-putting. All right. So Ruby's going to attack. This guy's probably going to try to do some damage to you. Miles, are we just continuing with the brawl over on your end?
We're smashing. We're doing a smash fest.
We're smash festing. Okay, great. Here we go. Give me that dexterity roll, Jen Brown.
I succeeded.
Okay. Whoa! You guys hear a tremendous like cacophony of smashing as the car. By the way, that guy. Well, let's see if that guy gets out of the way.
Yeah, get out of the way, dude.
He does. He leaps out of the way. The Lumina.
We go.
Thank you, Clint.
That actually is a pretty cool fucking car right there.
Yeah, that was
pretty rad, right? I mean, that's the
Lumina
on the Craigslist ad. It don't look like that when you got there.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you have it for $800 easy, nice and clean.
It's really going to look like shit now. The Lumina smashes in through this like garage door, and they've got like card tables and like a bar in the back, and like all of this like shit set up in here. They don't park cars in here
Are
anymore.
we hit by this car?
No. You guys are back in the hallway. This is the
Okay.
garage area. So all of this stuff is in there. They don't really use it to park anything in there anymore, but it is a large garage because it used to have to hold fire trucks. So what I'm going to tell you now, Jen Brown, is that as you smash like through a card table, you now see that there's room in here to maneuver. No, there's the woman I described in our last session with the big breasted woman with like all the makeup. She's like literally standing in front of a bar that they've built in here, literally a bar where you mix drinks and stuff. And she's got a cell phone in her hand and she's turning to you and like screaming. Do you want to try to run into her, or do you want to just like park and tell your guys to get in? Or like the thing is, you can see where the fight's going on and it's like through a doorway and you're not sure, but you could try ramming the car into that doorway that leads into the hallway where the fight is going on. What do you want to do? Actually, we're going to come back.
Okay.
That was your role for this round, so you think about that.
Okay.
Curtis, let's have Ruby do her thing. So you go, and Ruby is going to leap forward and attack. And let's see, I have her right here. There she is. And she's got a nice big brawling pool. And she's attacking the leader. And you said you wanted her to do a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so I'm giving her an extra die for biting someone's crotch. She's right at the right level to do that, and it's just fun. Okay. Ruby scored 3 successes, so she's got him. Okay. His role was going to be to just like try to pound you. So he's going to try that. Let's see if he gets it off before the dog bites into his crotch.
The nards, Jared. That's what they're called.
Wolfman's got nards. Okay, so here's what he critical successes here.
Oh.
So
he grows another dick.
Oh,
he's like,
And it
I
smacks
have
away.
many dicks. I just think that he gets off his entire punch before she grabs him.
Okay.
So let's see. Russ has just taken 3 not superficial damage. That's very aggravated damage, but he gets his punch off first. So because you were just kind of concentrating, you take a fist right in the face, but it's superficial damage. So I'm going to say you take 2 damage from this. 2 superficial damage from this. Your nose would be bloodied if you weren't a vampire. You just feel it kind of break under his fist. And then we're going to find out how Miles and Rory do. So let's do it. Are you ready, Miles?
Yeah, baby.
Okay, what are you doing to him?
I'm cracking this fool. I'm punching him right in his... I can see his bones breaking on his face, so I'm going to continue to punch him.
Okay. Do it. Strength plus brawl.
Success by 2. 2 success.
Okay, so what I didn't tell you is that he was just kind of trying to stay upright this turn because you were taking out half of his health bar and really made his eyes really, covered in blood and everything. So he wasn't doing so hot anyway. And he just rolled 2 successes to kind of just stay upright. And you said you just did 2 successes on your brawl? Okay. Yeah, you finish him off. You just hit him one more time, and he just goes down his face, a bloody mess. The tire iron goes flying, and he's on the ground. He can still crawl around and do things, but barely. Okay. So that's that. And now we come back.
What I wish I could have done to my bullies. But instead, I'm playing Masquerade.
That's why this game exists. The Masquerade allows us.
In here, I'm a hero.
In here, I punch them even though they have a tire iron.
I make them all pay.
Thomas imagines this NPC to have the exact face of his bully from 6th grade. As we go to Ashley. Jen Brown, what's she going to do? I gave her some options. Maybe you thought of another option. What's she doing with the car?
Yeah, so I'm going to kind of not in such a way, like if it's easy for me to like kind of spin around and stop. And then I want to fish the gun out from the back seat and point it at the woman on the phone and just go, "Don't." And then lay on the horn and go, "Curtis, Miles!" Like,
okay. That's
is that too many things?
No, it is, but it's all good things.
Okay.
I'm going to let you do this. I think describing that you stop and then you fish the gun out is definitely all within this turn. And I think that if you give me a dex roll and it's successful, you can also point it at her.
Okay. Let's see if I do.
Actually, yeah, dex, yeah.
Dex? Okay. Let me see. Oh, wait. We're not doing this, Matt, right? Huh?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what you'll do in a second. And then we'll find out how that goes. Curtis, the guy punched you in the face and it hurt. Your dog has a hold of his balls. What do you want to do now?
I think so he punched me and my nose broke. So that happens. Am I still like frenzied? Or
yes. That's a good point. Actually, fuck. You frenzied. It probably would have been tough for you to well, no. Just making your dog suddenly bite someone, that feels like you'd just be like every part of you is trying to kill the guy. So I'm okay with that. But yeah, you should probably do something frenzy-ish.
Okay, so the frenzy-ish thing I do is like the dog's latched onto him. The gun is still between us. The punch goes off, and he just withdraws his fist, and it's all he sees is like as his fist comes away is me just grinning. The fang
as blood like connects to the
fist.
Yeah,
blood comes down, and then I rear my head back and just like headbutt him right between the eyes. I
love it. I can't wait to see what happens there. And then Miles, now that your man is down, what do you do?
Just breathe. If like looking crazy, and if Curtis Krieger doesn't down this guy right now, Miles Vanderbook is gonna leap and tackle him.
Okay.
Can you do conditional moves here in this game?
It's pretty loose. Everything sort of happens at the same time. So I think that actually what's going to happen is if you don't say you're tackling, you're just tackling, then you'll have to wait till the next turn to tackle. Like you'll have to wait and see what happens, and then the next turn you can try a tackle.
All right, I'm gonna give Curtis this time to headbutt this fool.
Great. Wow, you guys are really into your new you're arrogant vampires here. You're like he can handle it. Jen, how'd it go? You stop the car and you reach back to grab
actually,
the gun?
can I do this instead? I look at them. I just forgot that you can even do this. What's that roll to like heal your bits?
Oh yeah. A rouse roll. Just roll one die and see if it comes up as a success.
Okay, yeah. After being cranked in the head with a tire iron, he might want to slurp his body together. Success. That's great.
Okay, so Miles is standing there, and like the blood is like his face is literally re-knitting itself. The bruises are like kind of like going away. Jen, how'd it go with your dex roll?
Failure.
Okay, so here's what's happening. Jen, you pulled in, you smashed your way in, you stopped the car, and then now you're back in the back seat, like trying to get at the gun. Like,
where is it?
Right, grab it.
Okay.
And Curtis, he's gonna try to hit you again, and you are going to, headbutt him. So let's see who does more damage here.
So I'm doing strength and brawl.
That's right, my friend. Strength plus brawl.
With the added frenzy chit?
Oh, yes. Please add +1 to your pool for your frenzied nature. Yes.
Okay, man. 3 successes.
3 successes. Dude, this fucking guy got 4.
Damn.
But the thing is, he's only hitting you with regular hands now, so everybody does damage to everybody else. Now, you're not like Miles. Your fists don't do lethal damage, so you've done some damage to him. You said you got 3?
That's correct.
So he's hurting, like you nail him, but he nails you to the tune of 4 superficial damage.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So if you lose all of your health from superficial damage, what happens?
Then you start. So each time you take superficial damage, you make like just a mark.
Right.
Then when you get more superficial damage, you start turning them into X's because they are now like lethal damage.
Right.
But still, for vampires, they can still just heal that by rouse check, and like suddenly the stamina worth of damage goes away.
So that's not half of 4, i.e. 2. That's full 4 damage.
Oh no, you're right. It's always half. You only take 2 more. I'm sorry. Thank you, Curtis.
Okay, no NBD.
Okay. So Miles, you see that this guy is not down yet. He's a tough piece of shit.
That's fine.
So maybe
I'll
on this
walk over to him, just kick him in the back of the legs, right? Because the dog's still on his nards.
Oh fuck! And the dog should do its damage.
Oh yeah, they're doing dog damage. You got to do that.
That's doing doggy damage, man. It's doing doggy do.
Let's see how it does this doggy damage.
Dog dick damage.
Dog dick damage.
Damage. Triple D.
Guys, hashtag
Triple
dog
D
dick damage. I want this trending. Okay, so the dog did incredible. So the dog did.
That's my girl.
Hi, Ruby.
That's my girl.
The dog gets 6 dice for when it's like brawling with people, and it just did 5 successes.
Holy shit, Ruby!
And because it's Jaws, it's like it does lethal. So 1, 2, 3.
It's gonna rip that dong off.
It's ripped off there's now blood. I don't want to get too graphic, guys, but it's ripped his dick off. Is that graphic?
It is a mature rated stream.
Oh, by the way, if your kids are watching right now,
turn it up.
Yeah.
Come on. A chubby comedian and 3 really good actors are going to pretend to be vampires for 2 hours. Come and watch. Oh, I didn't know there would be this kind of content.
It'll be a weird room. It's like it's a room of mainly adults and then like a couple of tweens. It's a weird chat. It's a bizarre chat.
This guy's really hurting now. Because so now on this round, I hear Miles is going to kick him. Jen, are you going to try to grab that gun and point it at her again?
Yes. And if I can I do that and call for the guys?
I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. But I'm gonna go ahead and say enough. Fumbling for the gun. You find it, you turn, but to like get her to stop and put her hands up or whatever, I need an intimidation roll from you.
Yes, Jen Brown.
You're
one of the most intimidating people in Silicon Valley.
It's true.
Count
for something.
Online, you're a beast.
In the Pittsburgh tech sector, really.
Right. Yeah.
I terrify people.
The blossoming Pittsburgh tech sector.
It really is. Someone hasn't researched Pittsburgh, which was one of my requests to play in this game.
Sorry.
I'm joking. I didn't make anybody research Pittsburgh except for me, and it was a pleasure. So, Jen, I think that since you don't have any intimidation, just roll your charisma. Doesn't feel right here. I want you to roll your resolve first, to intimidate this person.
Okay.
And there's a lot going on, but you have a gun, so go ahead and give yourself +1 to that roll.
Okay.
You have a gun. And then Curtis, what's happening with you? What are you doing this turn?
I mean, is this guy showing any sign of going down now that his D&B is on the ground?
His D&B, yeah, I think that this guy is, he's starting to take. So just to give you a little bit of rules background, he's got all X's now, which means like he's pretty much going to go down.
All right. So I want to shake him off if that's the thing. I'm going to say, how much self-control do I have? Am I still frenzying?
You're pretty frenzied. You might feed. Do you have any hunger
like
right now?
I think. Have you ever seen that you know that rapper Action Bronson?
Yeah.
You know, he's got that food show. Whenever he eats, he always like scoops his beard out of the way. So Curtis Krieger is about to do that in reverse. He lifts a hand off of the gun, scoops the guy's beard out of the way, and chomps down on him.
Wait, Miles. In a rare moment of foresightedness, wants to grab Curtis's hand before he does it and say, "Remember why we came."
Oh, okay, great. Here we go. This is fucking love that. All right, let's start with Jen's roll. How'd you do? Did you roll it yet? Okay,
Yeah.
So Jen, here's what I think happens. I think you pulled the gun on her and you were like,
I'm shaking.
yeah, and then you
I'm gonna fucking shoot.
and she's just like you just hear her go, "Get here quick. They killed Russ."
God damn it.
And she's not listening to you. She's just staying on the phone.
Do it. Pull the trigger, Brown.
Then we go for, okay, so I think it's an opposed roll. I think both of you guys rolled this at the same time.
Okay.
So I want Miles Vanderbuck to roll his composure plus his
Intimidation?
No. Does he have any persuasion?
He does.
I want him to roll composure plus persuasion. And Curtis Krieger, you're just going to roll your willpower.
Okay.
And if you don't, if Miles gets more successes than you do, does this make sense? Wait, should you roll your willpower? That's how you would resist a frenzy. Now, Curtis, you're just going to roll a strength plus brawl roll to bite him. Okay. And Miles is going to see if he can stop you. Go ahead, guys. Roll.
This again, advantage because of frenzy?
Yeah, go ahead and give yourself another die because of the frenzy.
I have something called presence. What does that do?
Presence is your vampiric power, which allows you to kind of it's like you have incredible pheromones that make people in love with you.
On my cattle, not fellow vampires.
Generally, it is. It is for, but you could. I mean, in some cases, you could try it on vampires. Curtis, you should, because you're frenzied. I gave you an extra die. I'm also going to give you that extra die because you're grappling. So go ahead and take 2 extra die to your strength plus brawl roll. Miles, roll your persuasion plus composure.
I mean, because these hunger die are kind of fucking me up right now. But
yeah, because you have 3 hunger.
2.
Oh, okay.
But I got success, but only 2 success.
Okay, you got 2 successes. Curtis,
I got 3 successes.
How many?
3.
3. Okay. I don't know that your attack was opposed by his. I think he got enough that right now you're about to bite into the guy. But if you want to roll willpower to stop the frenzy, you can try it.
Yeah.
There he is, Action Bronson.
Got down on.
What a find!
That actually looks like the guy you're about to eat.
Okay, willpower. Here we go.
So I could roll a brawl to catch up to.
It's 2 successes. So
it's up to you. So I'm telling you, the frenzy doesn't. It's up to you. Do you want to eat this guy or do you want to listen to your friend?
Okay, I just my head just rocks away from this guy towards Miles, and he can see the bloody tears coming out of my eyes. But he made us hurt.
You're right. And he's going to pay for that. But remember what we came here for, boy. I stroke his face. He reminds me of my nephew.
Great.
It hits me kind of in the same.
I give you a little neck pinch. There you go. Come on now. Relax,
okay.
buddy.
So the two bikers you were fighting with are rolling around on the floor. I mean, like, you still have a hold of the big leader guy, but he's like kind of limp. Jen, you have this woman in your sights and she's not doing what you tell her to. And she's she kind of looks like she's like figuring out an exit. So what do you want to do?
Well, I also shouted to the guys.
Yes, you did. So you guys are now aware of Jen's presence out in the garage.
Or I say to Miles, or if I can, maybe we just take her, and indicating the woman with the phone.
Can we see her?
You cannot quite see her, but you could, if you wanted to, this turn, drop the guys and head out to where Jen is, because she has alerted you to her presence.
Well, the whole reason that I've stopped is because we want to question one of these guys. So for me, it's the guy I've currently got. So if I can, he's now on the ground with his dick ripped off.
I mean, his dick is ripped off. Ruby's there growling at him.
His Dave and Buster.
His penis
has been eviscerated by the jaws of a pit bull.
Right.
So okay. So it sounds like you guys are hanging out to question this guy, and it sounds like what is Jen gonna do?
Can I? Oh my God, she's
not hang out question, but yes, keep going.
She's never fired a gun before, but I don't want to shoot this woman, but I want to scare her.
Mm-hmm.
So could I try to shoot near her but not hit her, knowing that I've never shot a gun before?
Actually, that feels like it would be easier than shooting a target, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and allow you to make a dex roll, and unless it critically misses, you can turn the gun bang over to the side and fire. And what is Curtis going to do? What is Curtis going to do?
I get down in the guy's face and with the gun over him, and I'm just like, and forgive me, is frenzy allowing me to think clearly? I
think when you made that willpower roll,
okay,
you started the haze started to lift.
It's like the barfly. Have you seen him? Do you work with him?
Okay, that's what you're going to do. Miles, what are you going to do?
I say, thinking that my friend is still a little frenzied, I grab this dude and hoist him up, saying to Curtis, he can answer that in the car. I'm going to haul this guy away.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay.
And I'll cover him with the shotgun.
Okay.
Fireman carried this huge guy.
Here we go. Jen, how did your dex roll go?
Did.
Okay. You fire the gun. She goes and drops her cell phone, and she's now running, and she's trying to run around your car, around the right side of your car to get out the garage doors behind you.
Are the guys headed this way now?
Yes, because Curtis Krieger, this happens before Miles. This thing happens. You shout like the barfly, and the guy kind of spits up blood, and it's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then Miles is like, he can talk in the car. And you see Miles, because Miles has potency, so he has vampiric strength. He's just takes this big fucking 6'4" guy with a big belly and fucking puts him on his shoulder. And you guys are moving toward the car. Okay. Great. So I'm going to roll that you guys, at the end of that turn, you're kind of in the garage. It's right there. And you can see Jen, and you can see the woman moving around the side of the car. Jen, what do you want to do?
I want to see if I can see them now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to yell, Curtis, she's getting away. They call it she's getting away. They called for backup kind of thing,
Yeah.
And kind of let him handle it.
Okay, great. But you've got the wheel of the car, so that's pretty important. You're ready to get them out of there. And you've let them know all the pertinent information. Curtis, what's your move this turn?
I let up. So do I have a sense of how full the shot? You said it was empty earlier.
It was empty, and it would have needed to be reloaded.
Okay, well I do have a pistol in my belt, as we have said.
Yes, we have.
One of the ones that we found in the in our lair. So I take that out and I let off a shot right next. I try to do kind of the same thing, a warning shot right next to her. Is she making her way out a door or something?
She's trying to, yeah. So if you fire to not hit her and you make an intimidation roll, I'll give you +2 dice to that roll.
Okay.
But she's really like, she's not easily intimidated, so you still need 2 successes. All right. Miles, what would you like to do this turn?
However this is possible, even I would like to, with this man on my back, open up the door and shove him in the back. And if I can't open up the door, I'd be like, Jen, open up the goddamn door! So I hoist him in the back. I was like juggling with the heavy luggage on the airport.
I think that can all happen. I think Jen does have to help you. And I'm not going to make you guys
I want us to like
for
fumble
that.
a little bit. It's awkward. We're not professionals.
But that tells us how Jen is also otherwise occupied after she gives Curtis all that information.
Yeah.
She's like back. She's like reaching back to like open the door. So here we go. Miles is like shoving this guy in after Jen is like finally gets the back door open. This woman is running and Curtis fires off a shot and then he says, "What?
Stop or the next one won't miss."
Okay, give me that intimidation roll.
Maybe you should have said stop or my mom will shoot.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You could have. You could have. Yeah.
One thought.
It's a good punch up. So am I just rolling intimidation? That is something I don't have.
You're gonna roll. I'm gonna give you resolve plus intimidation.
So that's just that. Okay, this will be hard then because
But I told you you can add 2 dice to it. Because
Curtis is like intense, but he's a wiry guy. He's not an intimidating guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's been huffing heroin all day.
Oh, messy critical success.
Oh, a messy critical.
I got 5 successes.
Ooh. But it's a messy critical. So basically, what happens is, you tell her that like the next one won't miss. But when you do that, you're like it's like the ultimate black metal vocalist. You sound like a wolf, like a monster or something.
Whoa.
And that's what she can't run. She like literally stops like a rabbit when you like get it like, under the look of a predator. Like she just like turns back to you like okay. Now what are we doing? I'm going to start going in the other direction because everything happens at once, so it doesn't matter. Miles, what are you going to do this turn?
If the man is shoved in, I'll turn to the lady and say, "Get in the car. We make this a whole goddamn mess here."
Okay, great. And Curtis, what are you going to do?
Can I pick up her dropped cell phone?
It's kind of you'll have to move over there and grab it. That'll be kind of your whole turn. Is that cool?
While keeping her in the sights, I do that.
Okay, great. And Jen, what are you going to do this turn?
I'm going to give Miles the pistol.
Okay, great.
I can't do shit with it.
Miles, I think that you finish getting him in and getting the door shut, and you shout that at the woman who's like, and Jen hands you back the pistol. Curtis runs over, and Curtis, I need a quick wits plus wits plus awareness roll. You don't need to investigate this. You just need a wits plus awareness to find where the cell phone dropped on the ground.
Okay. That's a success. 1 success.
That's enough. You find where the cell phone dropped on the ground. You have it. You have her smartphone.
Is the call that she was on still in progress?
Oh no, it's off.
Okay.
And in fact, the phone has gone black. So it's gone into sleep.
Okay.
Okay. So I think we can. Okay. No, we have to keep going a little bit combat. the woman is going to not move. She is so terrified that she's like literally like, because you got that messy critical, she's just like there like, and you actually see like a dark stain like opening up on her denim leggings. Like you like made her like piss herself. That's how much you scared her when you screamed at her.
In my current doggish state, I'm not grossed out by that. I only sense her fear because of it. I smell her fear.
That's right. Okay. So she's not getting in the car like Miles told her to. And in fact, even if she did, to be honest, it would be a tight squeeze, but you could fit her in.
So I'm gonna come a little bit closer and say to her, if she'll even answer. Have you been dealing with the barfly?
Okay. I'm gonna take us out of combat mode. Feels like we're in a role-playing scene again. The leader of the gang's just in the back, just bleeding out, and he's like half insensible in your back seat of your car. You take the gun up to her head, and you're like, "Have you been dealing with the barfly?" She is like, "Oh, let's see here." Okay, she's like, "I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is."
Miles puts his arm around her, but shows that he has his gun and says, "Well, let's all talk about that as we take a little drive, shall we?" Escorts her to the car because we can't stay here. She's made a call. We gotta go.
Okay.
And I explain that to Curtis. They say, "Come on, we gotta go, buddy," because I know he's like gone feral. So I also try to reason with him.
Okay.
No, that makes total sense. He's kind of broken free of his feral haze now, but I think the woman does just like she's so in like terror of all of you now that she's like lets you take her over to the car.
Right. Put her in the back seat.
Yeah, you put her in beside her buddy.
So here's how can I stop me if he's in the back seat behind Jen. The woman we just placed in is in the center. I'll be on the passenger side back seat. I'll just and the bleeding but still full Ruby will get up in my lap.
She jumps up onto your lap. Miles takes the passenger side front seat, and as you shut the door, you hear,
"God damn it!
Punch it, Brown!"
I punch it.
Oh, time to punch it.
Let's change it.
You peel, you back out of the garage, but I think that we need a dexterity roll for that.
Yes,
Oh,
drive it. Come on, Jen. Time to shine, baby. Rescue them boys.
Oh my God. Why did I decide to drive? Okay. Success.
Yeah.
Okay, just one. How many? One. Okay. I'm gonna roll
Is it
it like
opposed?
no, it's okay. It's not
Okay.
opposed. Here's what I think, though. You guys should like be aware of this. I think Jen has just like carefully backed out of the.
I put on my signal.
Like you would if you were just like leaving. You can all hear the sirens, but I want you to make wits plus awareness rolls to see if you know which direction they're coming from.
Just Jen or everybody?
I think everybody can, because you could all talk about this together.
5. Okay. Success. Just one.
Wits.
Also one success.
Hold on. I might get one. Oh, no, probably not, but let's try. I'm not the most aware. And almost one success.
I can tell you guys that I was going to say you got to get 2 for this. You're both like, you're all like, which direction is it coming from? There's only one street here, so you have to decide a direction. I mean, you know that one way takes you kind of north, the other way kind of takes you south. I mean, you have to like pick a direction. This is your tactical driving test. You're the one driving, so Jen, you have to decide. What are you going to do?
Okay, I'm just going to try to book it north.
Okay. You start driving north, and the second you guys get over a rise, you see blue lights coming down the other way. What do you want to do?
Reverse.
Can I off-road this baby?
Are there any?
If you off-road,
Alleyways.
I told you that you were kind of in a residential section. I said that the firehouse was kind of in like row houses and stuff like that. So you will be off-roading into someone's yard. You can do that. Is that what you want to do?
Yes. I mean, well, can I ask this? Do I know if there's like a road, like if I did that?
There's a road coming up that you could turn onto. Yeah. So it's like you and the cops would like kind of like meet at where you could take a right. If you wanted to, you could try to go through people's yards right now and get over to there from a more direct route. But you would literally like be bashing through people's fences and stuff.
Could I in any way help? Like if I see she's careening towards a tree or something, like grab the steering wheel. Like even if I'm like angry at her, I'm still.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely can. I think that like Miles, you can be like going like, no, go this way. You can even tell her. You can tell she's about to go into the yard right now. Are you going to let her do that?
I want to, not fully realizing the mental picture as a player, I would like to maybe careen her towards, instead of like the lawn, maybe an alley or another street. And if that's not an option, all I want to do is guide her safely through the lawn.
It sounds like you guys. I don't think that there's an alley. I think that there's just like 3 yards, and then there's a turn.
Okay.
So
I'm going to help her on the yard.
What's that?
I'm going to help her in her off-road decision. I'm
definitely improving.
Jen Brown is way smarter than Miles Vanderbuck, and he knows it, and so he's thinking that she's got it.
Jen,
no, I'm gonna be going fuck. So
Miles is helping you. I'm gonna allow you to roll dexterity with +1 die because Miles is kind of like helping you steer through these. I
do have a point in driving.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna give her an automatic +1 die. I think that's like a fair way to do that. So success. How many?
1.
Come on! I mean, to drive through a bunch of yards where the police don't see you or anything, it feels like you'd need more than 1 success.
The police can see us.
Well, they're coming in your direction. Yes. So the 2 cars were approaching each other, and they were a little ways away. They were like 3 houses away from each other, or even more than that, because they were going to meet right at where the turn happened. But Jen has just decided to go off into the yard. And what I'm going to say, Jen, is that you peel up into the yard and you hit a fence that leads into the next yard. And the car just isn't, the Lumina is not powerful enough to just plow over it. So it's a car accident. Immediately, it's a car accident. And now we're going to see how loud it is and that the police notice. Boy, we'll find out, won't we? Okay. You guys smash into a fence. I think everybody takes... Fuck, you're so fucking lucky. You all take 2 superficial damage. Actually, just 1 because you're vampires. Oh, except for you, Jen. You're a thin blood. So when you take damage, you take like the full kind of thing. And you are dealt like lethal damage from like guns and stuff. And when you heal, you can only heal 1 point of it because you're a thin blood.
So how do I get all the way back to full, or can I?
Every night you can like use your blood to heal one of those like I mean really you could be absolutely like stabbed or something really shot, but you can only heal 1 level of that per night. Does that make sense? With like a rouse check. Yes. So right now everybody has just taken like 1 point of superficial damage from just kind of like smashing into this fence, and the cop car screeches to a stop. Woo! And the lights are on. And guys, I think we're in another action scene, unfortunately, because this is what's happening. Like it's just the dice fell the way that they fell.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
All I'll say is that remember all of your powers, because maybe one of them would be useful in a way to get you out of this without as much fighting.
I have an immediate idea whenever I'm able to act.
So the thing I'm going to tell you is that, as you might guess, the cops are going to jump out of their car and run toward your car this turn. What are you going to do this turn, Miles Vanderbuck?
If it's possible, maybe before that, in the time when we just crashed, I say to Jen Brown, quickly trade places with me.
What? Okay.
I was driving the whole damn time.
Okay, Miles and Jen are going to trade places. Curtis, what are you going to do?
I just look at the two people next to me, and I'm like, "You think saying anything would be a good idea?" And I just like flash the gun at them, make sure that it's still there, and I also just let Ruby. In our connection, Ruby like stares at them and is like,
yeah. The woman is just like, oh. And the guy's just like fully passed out and like bleeding.
Good.
Miles and Jen like crawl over each other to switch positions as the cops finally run up and they're like, "Can you get out of the car?"
I would like to put my hands out of the car. Like, I'm going to, telling you, this whole time, I'm going to act subterfuge pitiable. My whole play here is to act like I'm a doddering old man and I'm utterly confused. Nick Nolte mugshot, like, drunk office meds guy.
Okay, I want you to do one thing for me. I want you to make an intelligence roll before you start this.
Okay. You're like, this would be a terrible idea.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
Jared, is it
Great
also
intelligence. Do I add my hunger to this roll, or yes, right?
Yes, you would. Jen, what were you going to ask?
Is it fair to say, because at Elysium, I had a mixed drink.
Mm-hmm.
So do I have a special ability in the barrel?
I think that we said that you do. Like, that's why you made sure to tell me, right?
Yes.
So you have the one that's on your sheet, but if you want to do something else, it would have to be limited to one of the things you've done before.
Okay.
If you remember back. And Jen, I know that this isn't the time right now, but I am going to say there is going to be opportunity for you in this game to experiment with that and kind of learn really what you're putting in the barrel, so to speak, when you drink certain types of blood and stuff later in the game. Okay. But right now, Miles, these guys come up and they do have their hands, but they have them on their sidearms, and it looks like they're not treating this as suspects that were fleeing, but as a car accident. And they're like,
"We could have driven past.
Can you get out of the vehicle?"
We totally could have.
And your arm comes out.
I want to say first.
Go?
Okay, it's 2, and I first want to hashtag get pink as well.
Give me a
good
rouse
man.
check. That was what your intelligence roll was for, to remind you of that. So I didn't even have to. So go ahead and give me that rouse roll.
That's just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a failure.
Okay, that's okay. That just means that if you use the blood in your system to do a power that requires a rouse check, you're going to get a little hungrier. A failure just means that you add hunger. But you're using presence right now, and look, you have 2 dots of presence, okay? So if you're using your presence, you can put them in awe of you right now, which means you will add your presence to any social skill involving your persuasion or your performance in this coming scene.
Great. I want to use it in conjunction with my pitiableness. I want to come across as so helpless that all they want to do is help me.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to roll your manipulation plus your presence of 2. And I'm going to roll for these guys.
My manipulation. Oh, okay. Do I add the pitiable thing or no?
Yes, add 1 die for pitiable. Yes. And then also
I've got 2
your
pips. Do I still add 1 die? Sorry, I just wanted.
Yeah, so it'll be 2 for your manipulation, 1 for your specialty of being pitiable, perfect use of it, and then also 2 for your presence. So you've got a 5 die pull.
Great. With 3 hunger. Let's see how that goes. Nice.
How'd you do?
A success of 4.
My friend, you have blown their successes out of the water. So the awing power of your presence, you see them suddenly like become so solicitous of you to the point where they're not even helping the people and the rest of the people in the car. They're just like, get him out here. Are you okay, sir? Can you stand? Like they're just like leading miles away, and like
I just need to get to a hospital. I gotta find my mom. Even though, like, saying obviously I'm way too old to be finding his mom, and then I give a quick wink to them. I say like, I'll see you at the clubhouse.
Okay.
Because I want them to just take me away and leave, leave my friends.
You got to get to a hospital. Okay, I want 1 more social skill. I want you to roll your manipulation plus your presence and add 2 die. I want you to roll manipulation plus subterfuge and add 2 die for your presence and 1 for your specialty. And the only reason I'm asking you to do this again is because now you're telling them to drive you somewhere, which feels like 1 more step. So let's see if you can do it.
You got it. Again, success by 4.
Let's see how they do.
These hunger dice are kind of killing me right
Let's
now.
see if they suddenly realize.
Come on.
They do not.
Yes!
They're like, get him in the car. We got to get him to the ER.
Yes.
They get you in the back of the car and they go, woo! And they drive off. And you guys are just sitting there with bikers in the back of your car. And what would Jen and Curtis like to do?
I guess meet him at the clubhouse.
I think he means our home base. So
yeah, okay. And then I kind of just really confused, slink into the driver's seat.
The Roma is not really built to be an all-terrain vehicle.
Yeah. I figured that out now. And then I kind of put in reverse, and I drive back to the hideout.
You drive to your haven in the Mexican War Streets neighborhood, the old mattress factory. So we're going to just cut to Miles for a little bit. Miles, you're in like
question.
Question.
How many police officers are there? 2, I'm assuming?
There's just 2.
I'm in the back seat.
You're in the back seat now.
So there's a gate in front of me, right?
There is.
The fence.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and in fact, it's probably locked from the inside, but I will remind you that you have supernatural vampire strength with your potence. But so what happens is like you're these guys are like driving you and they're going really fast toward a hospital. And then one of them like looks at the other one and goes, wait, should we have checked on those other people back there? And the other one goes, fuck. And then the one that said it first like looks back at you. We can consider the scene to still be going though, so you still have these like crazy presence powers.
Right. I go. Yeah. Oh, we gotta get them, but I gotta go pee. I gotta go pee. You gotta stop the car. I gotta go pee.
Okay.
Oh
wow. Yeah, I guess that's gonna be another manipulation.
I'm trying to be pitiable. I'm trying to be
plus persuasion. That's pitiable. Another manipulation plus persuasion. Add 1 for your specialty and 2 for presence.
Okay. Oh.
What just happened?
Total failure, 0 successes.
Oh no.
They go, I think this guy's fucking with us.
Oh no.
Yeah, me too. So what do? Do I turn around and go back to the scene? I don't know what to fucking do, man. We just fucking just did. We're derelict of duty. We were supposed to go to the and then he's like giving the address and stuff. Like so that now they're arguing.
I would like to kick open the door and lunge out.
Okay, it is a cop car door. So
Yeah,
I will
know.
allow you to do that. Here's what I need you to do. Let me see. I'm looking at your potence power, and I think that
I don't know if I have potent.
Yeah, you have a 1 in potence, which gives you lethal body, which means your unarmed attacks do aggravated damage to mortals.
Yeah.
So that means like you don't have the prowess power that gives you like feats of strength like this, but I'm still going to allow you to attempt it. But the problem is you need to give me 4 successes on a strength plus brawl roll to get this door open.
I don't know if that's possible. That only gives me 3 dice.
Oh, okay. Your strength plus brawl is only 3 dice.
Well, a total of 3.
Yeah, you could try your athletics. Would you like I think that it would make sense for him to use athletics here.
All right, deal.
And you should add your potence rating of 1 to this roll as well.
Okay. Can I I'm still adding hunger, right?
Yeah, you're still going to make as much hunger as you have, that many hunger dice into the pool as well.
2 successes.
He's trying to escape. Like now they're like yelling at each other. Like
I still want to act crazy, like perps, suspects. They like get in the back and they kick the doors.
Here's what I think happens. I think that like you can tell that you made the door budge a little bit, but it didn't come open.
Fair enough.
But now they're like, you hear him go, "Let's take him downtown. Let's put him in lockup." And like so they're like turning the squad car to go in a different direction.
I'm gonna allow this for now. I don't want to. These are police officers. This could get real crazy suddenly.
Well, absolutely. And the one thing you are remembering is that Churchill Jackson told you to make sure you didn't violate the masquerade here. So far, you guys haven't. Like, no mortals that are not under your control have seen you using powers and stuff. But this could get messy if they figure out they have a vampire.
I'm gonna calm down, stay pink, get pink, stay pink, and then see how this plays out.
Okay, great. Wow, I can't wait to see how it plays out. Meanwhile, I'll tell Curtis and Jen that you actually passed squad cars like going toward the Heathens clubhouse, but at that point you were so far away, your car wasn't really suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
And you arrive at the mattress factory clubhouse with everybody, and it's taken you about 20 minutes to get back over here. So this woman is now acting a little bit more herself, like she's not like in complete total like animal fear of you. Curtis, you frenzied. That when gangrel vampires frenzy, they get that animal characteristic. So your eyes are, as you described earlier, they're like animal eyes now. They're like glowing in the dark. Jen, he looks really kind of scary and off-putting.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy, boy, let's see how he's doing.
Is he dead?
He's lost a lot of blood, and in fact, are you guys? Well, describe to me what you do when you get there. You have a car that's full of blood and 2 prisoners.
I would check to see if he's alive.
Okay, so he's alive, but he's like really clammy, and he looks like he's lost a lot of blood, and all of this blood, Jen, is making you like
right.
Because we recall Jen has like this like thing where she can't see blood, so it's been okay because she's been driving, but now you're parked in front of the Haven and you turn around and you're like, oh, make a willpower roll.
Okay. And that's without hunger dice, right?
That's right. Willpower doesn't need a hunger die.
Okay. Wow. Total failure.
Okay, Jen, you lurch out of the car and start vomiting the blood that you drank earlier tonight.
Ah!
I want you to raise your hunger by 1.
Okay.
So I love your character. She literally looks at what's in her backseat and is like, hematomesis. I think that's pronounced-
Hematomesis.
Hashtag hematomesis, everybody.
Go down the deli, get me some hematomesis, baby.
How you doing?
Hematomesis with peppers, baby. Come on.
Don't you know Donnie Hamatamisi?
Hematomesis. All right.
Can I
Curtis.
say after I
Yeah.
vomit, can I say, you got him okay in here for a second, Curtis? I'm going to go find something to tie up the woman.
Yeah, do that.
Great.
I kind of hobble into the mattress factory.
Yes, and so there would be things, especially in the old room that Nixon, the guy whose Haven you took over, he probably has like an old extension cord, like a big long one, like people used to use.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of getting that together.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you, Curtis? What are you going to do?
So I can tell the woman is coming to her senses.
Yeah, because now she's not like this anymore. She's like looking at you like she looks mean. And she looks like she's got like some defiance in her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, he's dying.
Hey, quick reminder, because I can't really remember who pulled the gun on us first.
What the fuck are you gonna do?
Well, that depends on what the fuck you do.
You gotta help him. Do something.
I'll do something. He'll get help. You'll get help. As long as we can have a conversation where you tell the truth. You've made some very powerful enemies because you've made some very powerful friends.
What? I'll tell you whatever. I'll tell you what you want to know. Just fucking.
A barfly. I already asked you.
I don't know what that is.
Do we have access to this photograph? Do we?
Yeah, it would make sense that you would have. Well, you saw it.
You didn't give it.
You have access, but I'll tell you how you have access. Jen Brown can make an intelligence roll. Plus computer.
Ooh, plus computer. Like coding?
Help.
No, this is just like for you to remember something.
Stop all the downloading.
I don't think I have computer.
This motherfucker doesn't have computer. You are a computer.
I have a computer.
Girl, you got computer.
Well, I have technology coding. That's what I have.
Give this motherfucker a computer point.
Because computer is not a skill. That's why you don't have it. I meant technology.
Intelligence plus tech. This is the most Jen Brown roll that's ever been.
Yeah.
I have 2 hunger. Now I have 2 hunger, so that's what we're going to do. And it's going to be a success. 4 successes.
So, Jen, you kind of come out with the extension cord while Curtis is like questioning this woman who's still in the back seat beside her friend who's bleeding out. And I think, Curtis, you're kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, really, don't let me like write you where you don't want to be. But I think you're just kind of dominating that car door so that she has nowhere to go, really. And you hear them talking about this. And, Jen, you realize that if this barfly has been a problem for a while, he's probably on that thumb drive you stole from the prince. That photo that they were using and showing to you might be part of that database, or you might be,
But I don't have a computer. Do I?
Didn't you say you grabbed all your devices from home and everything?
I did, but when I tried to use them, the battery was drained.
I think that it's likely, like, given a couple minutes, you can cobble something together. Like, there's got to be some kind of like tablet or something that Jen had.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, actually, you charged it. Do you remember you charged it at the all-night coffee shop?
I did.
Yes, you did.
Great.
So If you, but don't let me force you. Like,
No. I think
if
that's
you have a
good.
different- Yeah.
I just assumed we didn't have access to tech, but I'd forgotten about the coffee shop. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll take it outside where I can't see the blood,
Uh-huh.
and I'll pull it up and I'll hand it to Curtis, still feeling kind of queasy.
So what you found was that photo was only taken a couple nights ago, and it was from behind anyway. You don't have that. What you have is you found in the Prince's files a composite sketch of the barfly, because they've been looking for him for a while. And Jen, with your 4 successes technology roll, you were able to look into these files and find it really quickly. So now, Curtis, you're holding up like a tablet with a composite sketch on it.
Okay, first I look at Jen just like, what sort of fucking wizardry is this?
I'm just really smart, man. Will you hurry up?
Maybe this will jog your memory. Have you seen this boy? Yeah.
She goes, that's Stu. It's his son.
Really?
Yeah. He had an accident a while back. Hasn't been a regular member of the club since then, but every once in a while he shows up in town with a job for us.
What sort of job?
Muscle. Guard some bigwig or beat someone to holy hell.
Wait, Curtis, that's who she called. He's heading to their hideout right now, where the cops are.
Now, will you please help him? He's dying. I told you what you want to know.
Can I take Curtis aside and say, we can keep the phone, drive him somewhere, call the cops, have someone pick him up, but I don't know what to do about Stu. He's about to get surrounded by a bunch of cops.
What about her?
Yeah, it's a big problem because just reminding
Figure
you
it out.
again, you were told to not break the masquerade, and now you have a witness who knows a lot of weird shit is going on.
So I look at the woman and I look at Curtis and I go, I can't.
Do you want me to deal with this?
Yeah.
All right. How late is it? Are we getting the?
Yes, thank you for asking. I told you when you kind of headed over to the hideout, you had about 7 hours. I don't think that much time has passed, even though it's taken a lot of game time. I think like an hour, or maybe an hour 20 is not even that. Like an hour has passed. So you still have 6 hours till dawn.
Okay. You want me to deal with this? All right. You got your own wheels?
Yeah. Back in my place.
Back at your. Okay, so I want to make a little search here. Do I have I want to conjure up in my mind, in Curtis's mind here. Is there a secluded spot I know, like on the outskirts of the city where like junkies would go and shoot up, like where you could go and be private, like a place where you might find tents or like just a secluded area where that kind of stuff might happen?
Yeah, there is. You have a spot like that. Yeah.
All right. Meet me at that address.
Okay.
In an hour and a half.
What are you going to do?
Seems like you'd be more comfortable not knowing.
And I'm not going to protest.
The woman suddenly screams. She's still in the back seat, but I think that the guy beside her has passed, and she is just going mental.
Shit. Can I take? Would I have something on me, like cloth or something? Of any
Sure.
kind? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shove it in her mouth.
Oh, really? Okay. So you pull out like I don't know. You have like a handkerchief or something. Jen carries it with her, and you just like come up and you like shove it in her mouth. She's already tied up, so now she's just like bawling like that's the thing in her mouth, like.
Put her out of her misery, you guys.
Yeah, I think I kind of take Jen by the shoulder and I'm like, that's good. Look away. And then I take the woman's arm and I bite down right on the vein in the center of her arm and start giving that suck.
You give her a
Having
suck.
a good suck, then, shall we?
Hey, I just want you guys to know that because the big guy just passed, his blood won't be good much longer. Do you want to make use of it as well?
I'm gonna drain her.
Jen Brown, you would have trouble. Pull that beard out of the way, baby.
What?
Jen Brown, you'd have trouble
Amazing.
at first, but would you like to try to feed? And
I mean, he's already dead, right? Yeah.
Give in to
Yeah.
it.
okay, give me a willpower roll. Sorry, this kind of stuff disgusts you, but you're.
I know. I mean, I decided that was what her flaw was going to be. Okay. Success.
Great. That means you can feed if you'd like. So
I would like to.
So I'm going to leave you two for now, like on top of these people on the back of the fucking Lumina, and the Lumina's going, and your hunger goes down, and you feel very sated. And I'm making a note of the type of blood that Jen has just consumed.
Big boy blood.
Big boy blood.
It's big boy blood.
Rapper chef blood.
And meanwhile, the cop car is going through a gate. It's about to turn into a gate that goes into what is clearly a police station. Miles, what's your plan? Do you want to stay in the car? I mean, that's fine, but that's where they're going. I'm telling you, they're turning in now.
I think he's gonna try and he'll try one last attempt to sow confusion amongst the police officers and sort of say, yeah, you sure you're not gonna help those people? Oh boy, you're gonna get in trouble.
What people?
The people back there in the car crash. You just took me. You kidnapped me.
Okay. Your presence is kind of wearing off, but what I
Fair
will allow
enough.
you to do is you can make your manipulation plus persuasion plus the 1 die for your pitiable and plus your 2 presence dots. But this time I need you to get 3 successes to have them turn all the way around now, because they did decide to take you downtown.
Okay. Hold on. I forgot all that math. Okay, it's 2, 3. Okay. So what? Okay, it was all those dice, and then the hunger, and then anything else, or no? Was there a difficulty?
There is a difficulty of 3. I want 3 successes to make this happen.
Well, how does 4 suit you?
They go, he's right, those people are dying. Turns away from the police station and starts driving the other direction.
Okay.
Are you sure this is right? I don't know, man. I'm confused.
Okay. Okay.
It's only about a 10-15 minute ride back
So,
to
actually, I've realized that I have a skill called technology repair.
Mm-hmm.
And I even have 1 pip of larceny. And I'm wondering if earlier when I kicked the door, you said it went ka-chink.
Yeah, a little bit.
If I can access some of the mechanics in there and instead of brute forcing it, maybe unlatch it somehow.
Well, they didn't put you in with cuffs on or anything. And so you're talking about actually taking the panel off the door and getting in there?
Well, if it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know how it's necessarily like opened up, but if it's like opened up near the seam and then there's the mechanism, like getting in there, I don't necessarily have any tools. There's no inventory.
No, it's okay. You don't have any tools, but you do have like vampiric strength, which I think would allow you to like pull off panels and stuff like that.
Yes, so, but I want to be extreme. I don't want to be overt about the whole thing.
I'm just going to add difficulty to it because you're trying to be kind of like sneaky about it.
Okay.
So here's what I want. I want, let's see here. Yeah. What was your, what's the skill you were going to use? Your craft?
Mechanical? Okay. There's technology repair, which is 3 pips. And then there's larceny, which is 1.
I think that you can use technology repair to do this. And I think that you can roll that plus your strength. Because you're like pulling things apart. But in order for you to do this without them noticing, I need 3 successes again.
Copy. Four successes.
Miles pops open the bottom of the door, gets his hand up in there, and is like, "Yep, this is a normal lock mechanism."
Yeah, and I'm just like diddling it, like, "Yeah, we went back down there on Caperty Street."
The world of darkness, and the police are horribly underfunded, and still have like these old sedan like cop cars, so they don't have like these like power locks. And so Miles gets up in there, and then suddenly you feel the door go loose. The car is still careening back through the neighborhoods toward the firehouse. What are you going to do?
So they're going like sirens, like they're not stopping at anything, right?
They're not stopping.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Mere road rash is but a blip in the realm of vampiric damage. I would like to, as stealthily as I can, and I have no pips in stealth, like literally like slither out the door so that if they notice me, I'm already gone.
They're like still arguing, and they're like trying to focus on driving while a siren's going, which is, when you're not stopping, which can be really tricky. So I think you only need to give me 1 success, but I do want you to give me a dex plus stealth roll.
I think this might be impossible, but we'll see. Okay, I can show it. 1 success.
Miles rolls out onto the street. It rips up his skin and stuff, and like he goes skidding around. But then soon he's like in a bush, like in a ditch.
And I chuckle to myself and fade into the bush.
And he sees the cop car go off over the hill. And guys, that's where we're going to end tonight. Excellent work. It felt like the mission was foobar, and then suddenly it was well handled. Excellent work. I want to thank our players once again: Ashley Burch, Thomas Middleditch, Ross Bryant. Find them on all the social Instagrams and everything, and follow everything they do, because they are talented people, as you can see from their performance tonight. Thank you guys again. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. I'm going to hang out in the chat for just a little bit longer if people have questions, and to say a couple more things. But let's have one more digital applause for our players.
Middleditch and Schwartz on Netflix. Middleditch and Schwartz on Netflix.
Middleditch and Schwartz on Netflix. Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet, and everything Ross has ever done, especially his cartoons. I love them. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank
See you next week. And that's the show. So if you joined late, I'm just going to let you know everything that happened, because sometimes people join late and they don't know what happened. Also, when I go back to research the old episodes, and so I can remember what happened as a storyteller, it helps me to see myself telling you what happened. So basically, at the beginning of the session, they were in a big fight with the Heathens biker gang. The Heathens kept mentioning someone named Stu. Call Stu during the fight. Because it was a kindred versus humans fight, our vampire coterie made pretty short work of the Heathens biker gang, of which there were only 4 members running around. The woman and 2 guys that came in and tried to fight Curtis and Miles. So I mean, the biker gang got a couple of solid hits in on our vampires, but they can heal by just, rousing their blood. So they made pretty short work of them. Jen Brown smashed into the side of the Heathens headquarters, got everybody in the car there. They were getting away, and then the cops showed up. Jen Brown made an interesting decision. She decided to run her car off the road into a person's yard. The cops saw this, stopped to help with the car crash, and that's the point where Miles Vanderbuck pulled his presence powers, his mind mumbo-jumbo, to kind of get the cops distracted, get them away from his coterie mates so that they could take their two prisoners, the leader of the biker gang and a female member of the biker gang, back to their haven, where they got some interesting information. They found out about Stu Headley. That's the barfly that the Camarilla elders mentioned last time that they wanted them to find out more information about. So now they have his name, and they know how he was connected to the biker gang, and they have a phone. They have a phone that has his number in it. So they have a solid lead now, and they have managed to, I mean, I'm shocked, but they've managed to get out of this without horribly breaching the Masquerade. So that's your little recap if you missed the session or you came in late. Here we go. Did Ash choose to play a Thin Blood? How much agency do they have in their character creation? Can we watch session 0 somewhere? Names don't matter. That is a great question. Unfortunately, there is no character creation session 0. These guys knew nothing about Vampire as a game, none of the rules or the clans or the different types of vampires. So I kind of wanted that from them as players. So I kind of, I gave them, I was like, what kind of person do you want to play? And they sort of like Ashley, I think the thing she sent me was, I want to play a vampire who faints at the sight of blood. So that's why she's rolling her willpower every time she needs to feed or something like that. And to me, it made sense that someone like that may have become a Thin Blood. So I created a Thin Blood character for her. So they had some input into what their character would be, but not too much because I wanted to save some of the surprises of the whole setting for them. What's the most interesting thing Jared learned about Pittsburgh during his research? Oh, the most interesting thing I learned was that Pittsburgh has awesome abandoned places. One thing that's really nice for a game like Vampire is that there's all this abandoned places stuff on the internet now. People really like to take these beautiful photographs of abandoned locations, and Pittsburgh, being kind of in the Rust Belt, has a ton of really cool atmospheric ones, including the photo we've been showing of the old abandoned mattress factory. That's real. That's really an old abandoned mattress factory in Pittsburgh. So what a great thing to have for players if you're playing vampires, just to kind of look up abandoned Los Angeles, abandoned Miami, wherever your game is set. Yeah, that's real. It's shockingly real. And there are more locations that I hope that we get to work in later, because I'm going to be using them in the course of the storyline. So yeah, that's the coolest thing. Do characters level up and get more powers as the story goes on? So they do. There are rules for exactly how leveling up works, and it doesn't quite work like in a Dungeons and Dragons game where there's literally levels. It works more like you get XP that you can then spend on a point in a skill, or a point in your attributes, or a point in your powers, and certain things cost more than others. But for an online game like this, where we're kind of doing an ongoing story, at least in this vampire game, I might run it a little bit more I just kind of give them stuff occasionally. But it's not going to be every session. It's some time has to pass, and then I'll kind of decide, okay, I feel like they've leveled up. And I think now that they know about vampires and their powers, they'll have a lot more input into that. But I'm not really going to bother, I think, in this game with point for point XP totals and how those work. Even though the simple system in the book works fine as far as I can tell, and it's a very simple, straightforward system. Okay, it's time for me to sing the wrap-up song here for our vampire stream. So it's time to wrap up our vampire game tonight. We've had lots of spookiness, and several frights. I hope you all enjoyed it and the really violent fight. We'll see you next week at the same time. That last part didn't rhyme. Well, I'm not a gifted improviser like my players. I'm primarily a guy that writes long, open-ended stories about vampires. But we've loved having you here. Remember, at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time, we will be doing our Call of Cthulhu Dark Ages game this Sunday. And we'll be back here for more Vampire next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Thanks, guys. #GetPink.